All right, guys, we're working on the old first gen a little bit more. So I did do the first fire up. You guys would have seen that in the video already. I haven't done the break-in yet. I literally just fired it up for that time that you've seen in the video. That was it. There was a few things. I hadn't got the coolant side of things figured out yet, or I shouldn't say figured out, finished yet. But I got that done for now. So really the only thing that was left is I was waiting for this valve to show up. And the reason I put that valve in there so I can stop the coolant flow going into the heater, because all of that stuff still works in this truck. And then I wanted to get the rad that's in the back, which you guys, well, for you guys that have followed before, there's a rad in the back right there. For extra cooling, because this thing does run kind of warm. The first gen rad, in my opinion, well, especially when you're talking this much power, is just not up to the task, even though it's an aluminum one and all that jazz. So we got the one in the back there. It's plumbed in into the block, so it comes out of the block. Both of these will basically go the same way. So this one comes out, goes down into there, goes back into the bottom rad hose. You can see that fitting right there. And the one for the rad in the back, which circulates all the time. I don't have my light. Hold on, let me grab the light. And I do appreciate whoever sent these lights. Somebody sent me 2 of these lights. They're slick. It didn't say on the box who did, so. That fitting right down there. See the 90-degree fitting there? That comes out of the block, pressure side, and then feeds back to that rad back there. So, I probably shouldn't put that there. Yeah, so we got that all plumbed. I had it filled with water already just to make sure there was no leaks. So no leaks, we're good to go. I'm putting the temperature sensor in. So put a picture up here. This is what I started with. And this is what we made. So basically all I did was take this fitting, I machined the sensor down to fit inside the fitting, and then I soldered it. It's a pressed fit, and then I soldered it. So that should be good for that. And we are going to put that on the cylinder head. I don't know if you, need the light again. Hard to see kind of, but see that pipe plug right there? Light a little bit farther away. The pipe plug there with the square in it, that's where that temperature sensor is going to go, and there's coolant behind that. Oh no, sorry, that's not the right one. It's further back. It's right behind that one. You guys can't see it. Actually, you know what? I got a cylinder head right here. That one actually goes into air. That's the wrong one. So it's this one. So this one right here. This is the one that I was talking about. So you could see. No, sorry, this one. This one goes into air too. That's VP44 junk. But it's this plug right here. So we're gonna pull that plug out, put that sensor in there that I just made. These holes are already plugged up, and then obviously that one's going to stay plugged. Something that I want to do when we get the dyno is, if you see this plug here and that plug right there, what some companies do is they actually make it so that the air is fed into both of those, and I want to see whether or not that makes a difference. So we're going to leave the truck the way it is for now, and then when we get the dyno, I'm actually going to plumb into those off the intake and see if it actually makes a difference. I guess on this engine, we won't be able to plumb into the front one because, well, there's a P-pump in the way. But the one on the back, you can definitely see that one, no problem. Some light on the subject. You can definitely see that one. So, I'm curious. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. So, that's what I'm doing right now. I'll probably just throw you guys in a time lapse for that. You don't have to listen to me curse and swear at it. I'm gonna put that sensor in, clean up a little bit of the wiring. I still have to do a bunch of wiring stuff on this thing, but I just wanna get the truck running and driving. So we're at the point where I just wanna get running and driving. So what else we got to do? I still have to do something for an intake. I haven't figured that out just yet, but we'll figure that out. I actually probably figure that out today, figure out what I'm gonna do, see if I have anything to do it. And then we're gonna work on the rear brakes. I've had to pull the rear apart again after that video. It's not a huge deal. And then I'm actually gonna do, be coming after some of these videos. I realized that I didn't completely show the way I wanted to how to do an axle seal. So being that I have to take this on and off a couple times, I'm going to show you guys how to do an axle seal with the, you know, everything clean. There's no oil in it, so it's easy to see everything. So because I have to take it on and off for the bracket for the brakes. So let's get after doing what we're doing, and I'll come back to you guys when I have something to tell you. Okay. Hey guys, so we got a little shameless plug in the video here. I got some new t-shirt designs for you guys that are interested. I know I've had a bunch of guys asking about different t-shirt designs. So here is one of the new ones. And then I wanted to have some injection pump stuff. So there's for my P-pump guys. We also have one that's for the VE guys. And then if you want to help out doing the build on this truck, it's almost done, but we need some more stuff for it. I also got a first gen one. So there's a bunch more on the website. If you want to check that out, go to cutteruprob.com, go to merch. Anything that you do there goes right directly back into the channel. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the guys that are buying. Thanks to my Patreons. And let's get back on with the video. Today we are working on doing some sort of a catch can. So I bought this originally for something else, but I think we're going to use it as a catch can, being that I need catch can. So, or blow by box, burn down box, whatever you want to call it. So what I am going to do is we are going to take this and we were going to mount it below the battery down there. I'm pretty sure anyway. It's going to be a tight fit, but I think that it'll fit, or we can make it fit. I can make it fit, but if it's going to be a big pain, I'm not going to bother. Basically all I want to do, hopefully anyway, is we're going to take, so I have this big line that comes out of the side of the block, goes into the crankcase. I may put two on. We're just going to do one to start with, I think anyway. We'll see. I haven't completely decided what we're going to do, but we're going to do this one for now. If that's not enough, then we'll add another one to it, but I think this should be enough. I was actually kind of thinking about doing Motion Raceworks bolt-on style one right here, or maybe right here, but they're a nice piece, but they ain't cheap. Especially by the time I get it here, I'm like 150, I probably like 150, $160 for one with, and that's just the fitting, or just the piece that bolts on there. Plus, and I have to do the fitting and the line and all that stuff. So it's pretty expensive for being, especially being that I already have. So we have this line here. I already literally have another bung on the side right there that has a cap on it. So I literally can come out of there. The reason I was thinking about doing one on the valve cover, the problem with the way I have this one set up is that it doesn't have a block on the oil. So I was thinking about taking the plug out and making something that fits in there maybe. Because basically what happens if you just have a straight flow, you will get oil that comes up with the blow-by. So you'll tend to get oil from it, especially with a fresh motor you will. So we're gonna do it this way to start with. See, if I have to add another line to it, I'll probably pull that fitting out and we'll do some wishery to the fitting so that we don't have that. You get the airflow, but you don't get the oil coming through it. The oil hits something and it has to, like the oil, the flow has to come in like if you take, so if you have just a straight flow, hold on, let me put you guys up in the camera or the holder. So basically right now, if you take the fitting that I have in there now, and this is this just is a straight shot through, right? There's nothing that stops anything. So basically, in simple terms, if you take the same fitting, I'm gonna make it bigger in this one just so it's easier for you to see. Don't judge my drawing. Basically what I want, instead of this just being a straight shot through, what I'm gonna do is I'll build like a little, it won't be out of tin because I'll have to make it fit inside of here. But basically you just make it so that there's like a little plate that sits on the outside of this, and that's a big fitting. Build a little plate so that when the oil and the air come, it literally hits this, and then the oil will drip off, most of it will drip off, and then the air will just go around it. So not really super complicated, and in hindsight, what I should have done was I should have done that when I I should have done that when I built the fittings. Is what it is. I didn't do it like that. So the next time I'll probably do it that way. If, you know, well, I shouldn't say if. When I'm doing something like this again, I'll build it that way. So I think, like I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this battery out, pull the battery tray out, see if we can get that fitted in there. If that'll fit in there where I think everything is gonna work, we'll use that. If not, we'll probably just build one. It's just that by the time I build that, I'll be into it a couple hours plus material. It'll cost me more material than it did cost to buy that. So we are going to see if that's gonna fit in there. And yeah, so I'm gonna pull the battery out, get this stuff out of my way. And we're one step closer to ripping this thing. All right, that won't fit, but I have this steel tank that we might make work. What I might do, because I really don't like, I don't know, it's one of those things. I know some guys have their catch cans and all that stuff at the front. Not a huge fan of it. If that would have fit, I probably would have just left it there and we would have made that work. Being it doesn't fit, what I'm kind of contemplating doing is mounting this tank, which is just a little steel tank, which is not ideal because it's heavy. Well, it's not that heavy, but I guess it's a diesel truck. Anyways, what I'm thinking, mounting this on the side of the frame. We're gonna go underneath there and check in a minute. Mount this on the side of the frame. The blow-by will come into here, out of this, into this tank, out of this tank. I may put some steel wool inside this just to stop some of the vapor. And then come out of this tank, go down the side of the truck. So it's gonna go underneath and then come up into the bed of the truck and then plumb into this. So, and at that point, what we'll do is we will just have probably, I don't know if I'll change these fittings or not, because these aren't very big fittings. I would like some decent size, but we'll probably put 2 little filters on there. Either that or I might plumb it into the exhaust so that this will have a negative flow on it. But let's go underneath the truck and look. I don't know. All right, I was kind of thinking, I don't know, unless we use something different. I guess we could use something different. The only thing that I was thinking is that if we bring that line down into here, I would like somewhere for it to be able to drain off. So I've seen this problem. I shouldn't say I've had the problem. I've seen this problem. So if you bring this line down here and then the line goes up there, I've seen the problem where this low spot will fill with oil. And that's bad because you need the air to be able to flow freely. And if it doesn't, you tend to blow oil out seals and stuff. I've seen that before. So I was kind of contemplating, like I said, putting this up in there, but that is too big. So if we're gonna do that, we gotta make something different. Figured out. I shouldn't say an idea. I got something figured out. So we're going to use this on the frame rail. I got a piece of pipe that I'm going to extend the piece out. So the line's going to come down, but the line's a little bit on the short side, so we're going to have to put a little extension on this, which is what it is. I think maybe I like that better anyway. Then I don't have to worry about the stainless line getting screwed up. And so I got to weld both of these ends on, and then we're going to fill it with something. But I'm going to weld the one end on first. We're going to get that end of it figured out, and then I'll show you what I'm going to put in it. Okay, let's get this thing welded. I'm just going to MIG weld it. I would usually TIG weld this, but I'm out of argon, so we can't do that until I get more argon, which probably won't be for a day or two. And I don't want to do this, so let's just MIG weld it. It will be fine.
All right, guys, so we're working on, I got the bottom half done, or the first part done, and all welded up. I don't know whether or not I videoed all of that, but I'll show you the finished product here in a minute. But we got the tank. We're gonna mount this in the back of the truck. We got this 16 AN fitting. This is gonna go on top of here, so that's what's gonna come from the engine in there. And if you see in there, you can see that we put a tube. I don't know if this might be too bright. Oh no, it's not too bad. So we put a tube so it goes all the way to the bottom. And then now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take our trusty steel wool, and I'm gonna take the steel wool and fill this tank up with steel wool so that the oil grabs the steel wool and then the air will just come around it. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm not gonna show you guys that process because nobody's gonna wanna watch anyway. I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna mount it, and we'll show you underneath when we get underneath there. We got this thing basically done. So this is the box. We got the, or this is the lower catch-all. I was gonna put some steel wool in here, but I decided not to. Just so basically this is now just the lowest point. Did we tighten that? Oh yeah, we did.
Nope, I never touched that.
We didn't tighten? We should tighten that.
I never touched that.
So we need to tighten that. But anyway, so that comes from the engine. Go into here. This is just a low point because I didn't want this line to fill up with oil. And then it just runs up into there. And then I'll show you when we get up there what we got. So that's what we got for the box in the back. And I'm going to get a couple screw-on filters for here, just so there's, you know, some sort of a filter. I don't think we're going to get much blow-by coming out of there, but, you know, just would look better with two filters on it. And then at a certain point, I am probably going to, well, not probably, I'm going to get a 90 that comes out of here, and then we'll go straight down, and then we'll have a valve on it so we can empty this out. But I don't think that we're going to get a lot of oil in this. I think a lot of the oil that we do get will be on the one down below. So that is it for doing that. We're getting pretty close to getting this thing finished. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw you guys up on the tripod. I don't know if I'm doing anything else. What time is it? Probably close to 8 o'clock. What time is it?
7:36.
Oh, okay. So it's like 7:30. All right, guys. So I guess I'm just going to close her out for tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hey guys, check out the merch store, cutteruprob.com, link in the description, for all the new merch that I just dropped. Help out the channel.